to record. Okay, so we're hitting Shawlography clue 3 discussion. Right, now you can talk away.
Okay, so I did the brioche option and yeah, I finished it very quickly. Can I show?
Yes.
Please. Okay, I'm spotlighting you.
So,
Wow.
and because my B is the gray and my A was a variegated, it's a very muted brioche. You can hardly see it, but I thought it actually breaks the whole shawl quite nicely, and you've got the link between the 3 sections, which is also quite nice.
Very nice.
So it was fun. My tip with the crossover was I actually unscrewed my interchangeable, because when you wind around 4 times, when it goes onto your cable, it gets very tight. So I actually unwound that and just kept the tips loose and slipped all the stitches onto my working needle, onto my right hand needle, and then put them back crossed over onto my left hand needle, and then that's it. And it went much quicker than trying to sit and get all the stitches to move on the cable, because they just got very tight.
Yeah, I must say I'm a partway through that crossover row, and I'm really not enjoying it because it is difficult. Yeah, it's difficult to move the stitches. Everything about it's difficult.
Yeah, so the minute I did that, it took me probably a third of the time, and I started at halfway. So it was about a third of the time to get it done. But it's a nice effect.
Yeah. Does it, once you finish the row, do all of the crossovers even out on the different?
Yeah, and I've got a couple that are the wrong way around and you can't even notice them.
Yeah.
So
note to Margaret, no frogging on this row.
I'm not. I have absolutely no intention of doing the brioche. I had to get
the brioche was easy. This is the crossing stitches that you're going to have to do no matter which one you do.
I had to get up at 6 o'clock this morning to finish off the bobbles because they're very time consuming.
They are.
Anyway, I've now done 46 bobbles. So
good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Margaret, you're talking about yours. So Lauren, very beautiful progress. Margaret, we want to have a little look at yours.
Okay.
Okay, so hold it up and hold it still for us.
Ooh,
it's looking gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm just starting. I've done the bobbles there, and I'm just starting the next row.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay, as you move it like that, so note to everyone, you got to put it in front of the camera and then hold it still, because every time you move it, it wobbles for us and goes blurry. We can't see it. It looks gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
And
sure,
it's do the brioche. Do the brioche.
Okay, I'll think about it.
It's just very straightforward 2-color brioche. It wasn't difficult, and the cross stitch row that comes after it is much harder.
Okay. Well, I haven't finished a section 2, a clue 2 yet.
Don't worry about it. Clue 3 goes much faster than clue 2.
Okay. There's a lot of knitting in clue 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed. I'm wondering how much knitting there's going to be in clue 4, because there's a hell of a lot of wool left.
Yes. Some things are missed.
Yeah. How are you getting on, Belinda? Can we have a look at yours?
Yeah, sure. I'm also still on clue 2, but I'm finishing up my last wing.
Very nice.
Wing or wedge.
Nice.
So getting there. I think I will do the brioche because I've just done a brioche MKAL a few months ago.
Okay.
So I think I will do that. And yeah, wondering what on earth is going to happen with the rest of the wool.
I think we're going to be
nervous laughter.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to leave us with a clanger.
Really, the brioche is worth doing. I got nervous because I couldn't remember what any of the terminology meant, and you pick it up very quickly, and it's
a rhythm
really straightforward. There's no moving things around and backwards and forwards. It's just so much 2-color brioche.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking forward to doing that soon. but it was quite a nice relief to have a bit of straight knitting after all these bobbles. It's like a relief. So the brioche comes, and then the hardcore crossovers come, and then the hardcore. So he's obviously taking us on a ride. So I'll do that, and then yeah, I have to leave it to 10 to 12 because we have our power cut at 12.
Okay.
So if I disappear, that's where I've
where you've
gone.
gone. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm wondering what he's going to do next, how he's going to resolve the amount of so-called knitting that seems to be coming. I don't know. The rumor is obviously that there'll be an extra clue dropped. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently, did he do that last year? Someone said he did that last year. There was a surprise clue dropped. Anyway. So yeah, that's me knitting wedges.
Very nice. No, it looks amazing.
Wonderful.
Your colors
Thank
are
you.
working beautifully together.
They are bright, very bright.
Oh,
We are moving to stage 4 load shedding till
Are you
Friday.
kidding me?
Nope.
oh, how annoying. Okay, well, if any of us disappear, then that's what. If you lose us, that's what is happening.
You know where we've gone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if I disappear, I'm expecting a delivery of some Babylon store and wine.
Oh, very
Ooh.
nice.
Oh,
That's a very good excuse to leave.
Yes, it
Somebody
is.
in Somerset who said, has it.
Lovely.
So I got a message saying there was going to be a delivery this morning.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So Lynn, how's yours coming along? Are we gonna, you're the next person on my
I have done the wedges.
very nice.
Ah,
Lovely.
beautiful.
So now I am,
You're about to start the brioche. Well, you have just started the brioche.
I've done row 1.
Okay, well done.
Me and brioche are not good friends, so I'm going to battle it and see if I can manage it this time.
Yeah. Yeah, I found with the brioche, well, it looks really lovely. And I found with the brioche that I sort of had a chant going in my head of brioche knits upon yarn over, brioche knits upon yarn over. And then I could just work through the row. And because it's a really long row, you're just doing the same thing over and over with no variation. And I got into a rhythm. So it's not, what you have to do is not changing often. And so I found that quite sort of rhythmic and soothing, and it was all right.
I had the chant in my head about the knits, pearl, knits, pearl, 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 knit, pearl. I'd had that chant in my head for that row, and that seemed to help. So I will practice it with the brioche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck. I hope it goes well.
Thank you.
And what's nice about the brioche is it's always, because you're doing it flat, so you start with a knit row, then it's pearl, pearl, knit, knit, pearl, pearl, knit, knit, pearl, pearl, knit, knit, until you get to the end. And you just got to remember, when you start row 1, you just got to do your increase at the beginning and the end, which I forgot in the first row, so I had to unpick almost all the entire row. But yeah, I just take it as it's rib, except instead of purling, you just slipping the stitch, and when you're purling, you're slipping the knit stitch, so with a yarn over.
Yeah, that's how I think about it as well.
Yeah, a lot of people went with the mesh. My friend who also Bridget, who's in my mind an expert knitter, goes, I can't do brioche, and I'm like, no, she's done so many projects and so many things where we've done brioche, and we've done Jane's Block of the Month course where we learned brioche. And I'm like, there's something that I can do that she can't do, because when we did that course, she's like, oh, I've done Intarsia, I've done Feral, I've done this, I've done that. And I'm like, I haven't done any of that yet.
No.
So I was,
and it's one of the things that I found quite, I mean, it's been hard work, but it's also been lovely about this pattern, is reminding myself of these techniques I don't use all the time.
no, and besides the brioche, it really hasn't been difficult techniques. It's really been using knits and pearls in a different format. I mean, even the mosaic bit with the little triangles wasn't terribly difficult because you'd been doing slip stitches from the beginning, and then the short rows were, but the way he explained the short rows were so easy.
Yeah. Sue, how is yours coming along? I'm sorry I haven't replied to your email about the colors.
No, it's absolutely fine. I made a decision on my own.
Good for you. Good for you. Okay, hold on. You disappeared on my screen. I'm just going to find you again. Can we spotlight and have a look at your one?
Not nearly as far as anybody else, but
You don't have to worry about it. In your own time, it's all good.
Oh, it's looking lovely.
Ah,
Very nice.
So you put the hot pink in.
yes,
Beautiful.
lovely. Yeah, it looks good.
Looks good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I think it wouldn't have. Yeah, the other color wouldn't have really
Yeah.
made a difference. And here, I was supposed to have the orchid
Yeah.
blush, but when I tried, it just wasn't working.
Flat. Yeah. So I just mixed some of the colors around as well, and it's worked fine.
So on this one, on my color scheme, the bubbles are supposed to be in the natural. So do you think I should do that?
I think the hot pink for the bubbles.
Hot pink.
I don't know what you think, Bridget.
So it's very much what kind of how you want it. I can show you mine where I changed the colors around for the bubble, if you like, and then you can have a look and see what you think. So let me just
I wondered after your conversations about whether the bubbles were supposed to sort of connect the different parts.
well, so if you look at Lauren's, Lauren, maybe you can hold yours up and we can have a look. And because then you can see kind of different options for how people have used the colors. So if you look at Lauren's, you followed the color thing exactly. So if you look at Lauren's, she did the toffees and the bubbles in the colors they were supposed to be. And I mean, it's more, some of it's more subtle, but I think that it still works beautifully. And so it's a little bit of it is just what's your preference for how much they stand out. And I mean, you could have changed the color of the toffees and the bubbles or not, you know, depending on what you wanted to do. So I went quite differently. I'm just going to put mine on here and then I'll show you what I did with mine, because I did change the color of a few things. And I do it like that. So you can see that I changed the color on mine, and I put the toffees and the bubbles in that terracotta color over there because I just didn't think that they were going to stand out that much, and I wanted them both to be the same color to frame those triangles a bit, because I was finding the rainforest dark green a bit too dark and too green. And when it comes to the crossover stitch, which I'm busy working now, that was also supposed to be in rainforest, and I didn't want it that green. So I decided to bring I was thinking about using the orchid blush, but then I thought it was a bit subtle. So I thought, look, I've made the statement with the terracotta here. Let me just bring that back again. So Sue, I think it's very much up to you and kind of what you're thinking around your project and how much of a statement you want to make with any of the particular colors. So I think you could go any way with it. Do you want to hold it up again and we kind of have a look? So if I spotlight you, I don't know if we can put, in theory, I should be able to put two things on there. So the first lot of the bubble, the toffees are supposed to be which color?
The toffees are supposed to be in the sort of greeny, this,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Sage.
So they'll be quite subtle
Yeah,
next to those other, next to the gray and stuff in that band that you've just done, and you might lose them or not. So then what color, if you do the bubbles in that color, then what, at least the toppies, then what color is the next, which colors will the next section be in?
the
The triangles.
are silver and the natural.
So I would change those, because you won't see the natural, and the silver and natural won't give you much contrast to actually see the triangles.
Okay.
I would do the toffees are natural, and your sage and orchid. What was the other color for the triangles? The silver.
Silver and the natural.
Or maybe do the
Yeah, I don't think
sage
you'll see
the
those.
silver
Or do
together.
the
And
sage and the pink, because you want to
Yeah.
put a strong contrast or you won't see the triangles.
So the sage and the
The pink,
hot pink.
I think you could put it in there. Or you could do the top. Yeah, I mean, I also, as I'm knitting it and looking at it, I have been, so what I've been wondering as I looked at the project is, I mean, obviously I can see how everything is hanging together with all of the different colors, but I've been wondering almost why he didn't. So for example, this color here in that beginning section is strong and stands out, and then the prawns, and then the toffees, and then the bubbles, and then the brioche. Yeah, you know, he could have alternated. It could have been the same color on the brioche, the toffees, and the beginning, and then an alternate color on the prawns and the bubbles. Anyway, I mean, obviously everything looks beautiful, how it's coming together in different projects, but Sue, I like you have been looking at things and going, oh, okay, no, those colors are not gonna, you're not gonna see them. If I do them in those colors, you won't see the detail of what's done.
I think that's what's so nice about his project, is that you can play with the colors and you can mix them up the way you want to, and your kits worked so well because you could do that. I think the kits where they just had the 5 colors and that was it with the right quantity didn't give you the freedom to play around with the colors. And I know a couple of people have already added in a 6th or 7th color as well, just to create that bit of pop. And his designs lend themselves to a pop. They really do. He loves his statement piece, a color or statement stitch every so often.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's the one thing that I found quite interesting and unusual in this pattern is that there isn't clearly one statement color. So he said in the beginning, start with your favorite color. But the favorite color that I started with was the olive, and it's been the least
used.
It's been the least used, and it doesn't come to the front in anything really.
No.
And then he said use the lightest or the darkest for that first section over here in the rib, but again that one kind of hasn't majorly come forward. So yeah, it's just quite interesting to see how the whole thing hangs together. And yet all of the projects that I've been looking at on Instagram, it doesn't matter what people's color palettes are, they do just look amazing because of the detail and the complexity of the stitches, and the colors do repeat, although not necessarily in any obvious way.
Right. There's one lady, I think she's done 2 or 3 colors. They're all blue, like a gray blue color. It looks absolutely amazing because then you've got the stitch definition. I'll see if I can find it on Instagram.
I'll also find it for you. She's Fishknits something or other.
Yeah, I commented on a thing yesterday.
I saw it as well. It's really beautiful. It seems like also what he's doing is he's highlighting each of the 5 colors through a very textural element.
Her name is
So finishing
Knitting
up with the
Fiona.
Yes,
Sorry,
Knitting
yeah.
Fiona.
That's a close-up of her colors. So she actually does have 5 colors, but they're all very similar, sort of shades of each other. And it just looks, it's define the stitches as opposed to defining the colors, which I thought was really a clever way of doing it.
Yeah, and it's worked beautifully with those very similar tonal colors that just repeat.
Yeah.
But I guess what's different about her one is there isn't one single color that's strong. They're all in the same kind of color family. Mm. And so it's one of those things where you can't see what you're going to do when you start to kind of go, okay, wow, you know, just fascinating to see how everyone's different color choices are shown in the project.
There was one lady they interviewed on that Fruity Knitting, and she tests all of Stephen West's patterns for him, but she doesn't use the bright colors. It's always neutrals, and it's amazing to see how different his patterns look when with the neutrals, as opposed to all his bright colors that he's always going for. Because he's got some beautiful stitch definition, but if you go too bright, you lose it.
Yeah.
And the stitch choices, but if you go for a more neutral palette, you actually see it much easier.
Yeah. So Sue, this hasn't really helped you at all, has it?
No. I shall do what was I going to do the bobbles in? Oh, the natural.
Yeah.
And then use the hot pink with the sage for the triangles.
Nice.
And then the welts, Sue, are you going to do that in, did you do the welts first?
Oh, hang on.
No, the welts are the toffees.
I've also changed that to natural, but is that?
Yeah, so that's what I did with mine, is that I did the toffees and the bubbles in the terracotta. And if you do that and you do the triangles with the sage and the hot pink, then when you come back to the wings, you could do those in the same aubergine and silver fox like you did the...
Which are the wings in the
last section 9.
These ones, these pieces over here. This sort of stripy section here.
Okay. Is that what's called a wedge?
Wedge, yes.
the wedge.
Sorry, what did you suggest for that?
You could repeat the aubergine and silver fox that you did in your slip stitch.
Okay.
Or change it and bring the sage back. By then, by the time you get there, clue 4 will probably be out. So you can have a look at how the rest of it's going to finish and then decide.
Because following the pattern, it should have been the orchid and green there. But they're quite similar, aren't they? I'm just worried there's never going to be any green.
So what you can also do then is bring the green back for the crossed stitch, and as I say, have a look at how what the next clue shows up, and then you can pick a big section that you want to put a lot of that green into.
Right, thank you.
Or do the toffees and the bubbles in the green, and do the natural and...
So the toffee's just done over 2 rows?
No, it's 10 rows, and then there's a pickup. There's a slip stitch and a pickup.
Okay.
And if you make a mistake, I undid it 4 times. So
So don't talk to Margaret.
I've been putting in lifelines.
Okay, good for you. So the
Every-
toffees, what we're calling the toffees are what are called the welts in the pattern.
Well, yeah.
well,
I have
every
to
now and then
admit-
the cat jumped on my lap, knocked the stitches off the needle, and then there was nothing I could do except undo it. Anyway, it's done.
Screech at
So-
the cat.
Pardon?
And screech at the cat.
I'll send her somewhere else.
She can come to Scarborough if she wants.
Yeah.
Ananda, you snuck in there and have been sitting very chip still. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm looking at everybody's lovely shawls.
Good. And how's your lovely shawl?
My lovely shawl is 0. I've pulled out everything. I have decided I was too frustrated. I was struggling, and I decided my life is too short to struggle like that. And I am now happily knitting on my Chauncey jersey, and now I is a very happy girl.
Good.
And you put all the wool back in your stash.
I did. I unpicked it very nicely, and it took me a whole evening to undo it, and feeling much better for it, because I was getting, in Afrikaans, there's a word called isegrimmig, and I was getting isegrimmig with everybody around me, and I realized that it is because I'm struggling. I either had too many stitches or I had too little stitches, and I couldn't figure out how to snooker it, and I just decided, that's it. I'm not a shawly person anyway. And what is the point of knitting this shawl for hundreds of hours? And I might not even wear it. And if I am knitting it whilst I am frustrated, there's not a lot of love going in there. And so I had a I had a tantrum with Lauren, and Lauren said to me, go for it. And that's what I did. So it's all Lauren's fault. No, it's not.
Good work, Lauren.
Yeah. So yeah,
So how's your jersey going?
Jersey is doing well. I close it because I've got the wool that for the body still attached, and I'm busy with the sleeves. But yeah, so I don't know if you can see.
Beautiful.
Ah,
Now, hold on one
very
second. Sorry, I have to spotlight you so we can see it.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
oh,
Yeah, thank you. So it's on one sleevey,
Yeah.
where just Noddy keep his army up his sleevey. And yeah, then we will get to the body when the sleeves are done. I like doing it like that.
Good.
So yeah.
and well done for following your joy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brenda. Yeah. No.
Because we always get caught up in what we think we should do, as opposed
Indeed.
to
Yes.
follow the joy.
Yeah. I was just not, honestly, I was just not feeling it, you know. And then he goes, say yes, don't stress. And I'm like,
Yes.
why are you lying to me? I'm stressing here because it's not working out. And I must say a little bit of perfectionism, you know, I want things to work out properly. And then he says, just make a few stitches here, and then I'll make a few stitches. And then I didn't know how to, I couldn't fully MacGyver the pattern to, you know, because there are repeats of those little funny little things that you do. And then I thought, no, man, this is not good. So I had a tantrum, and Lauren was on the other end of the phone. And after we had a chat, I thought, that's it. Nobody's paying me to do this. I'm supposed to be enjoying it. So pulled it out, happy chappy. Yeah.
I did pull out my wedges and redo them when I wasn't happy with them.
Oh,
Um,
respect, Sue, respect.
and Margaret had said to me, maybe I hadn't pulled, you know, done it tight enough in places. And she was quite right, because when I finished, I had much longer bits left over.
Yeah.
Ah.
So
I know
I
my
was
friend
thinking
said
I've
when you
done
do it, yeah, you must pull it quite tight.
yeah, so I was pleased I pulled it out because I was not happy with it. I just wonder whether at any point, you know, whether the colors in the middle will ever be pulled out.
Yeah, that you will be seeing it properly.
Yeah.
You wear it.
Do you think it'll work? Pull out?
Yeah, because also remember, if when you wear it,
Right.
that's going to be at the top over your shoulder. Like if that is the center and it's at the back of your neck, then you're pulling that section around. So hopefully it opens up onto your shoulder.
And also the weight of the rest of the
shawl.
shawl
Yeah,
will
hanging down. Yeah.
Let's see, Lauren, turn around. You see,
Hold on 1 second. Lauren, where?
don't go away.
I'm not going away. I'm
Oh,
trying
okay.
to put my back.
Yes,
There you
there we go.
Yeah, now you
Yeah.
can see, yeah.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
Well,
It
I'm
reminds me
doing
a
the
bit of
wing-
like that Egyptian wings of the
Yes.
Isis
Yeah.
goddess. It's got that kind of sunrise, especially in these bright colors.
And I've got it
Reminds
draped over a chair here in the shop. And as it's hanging, it's pulling it open so you can see all the colors beautifully. So
And also
I'm
when
doing-
you block it, it'll dry open if you pin it
Yeah.
so that it's open.
you can just,
But it's going to be a
I-
big shawl.
I'll have to bring mine to Cape Town for somebody to block it in the sun for me.
Exactly.
We can do that.
We can do that.
I've got a big driveway.
we
And
can
a
all
hose
come
pipe.
with our blocking mats and we'll join them all together and we'll have it big enough to block it.
Yeah.
Now I am doing the wedge and it is the light pink and the orange. And I'm thinking there's too much orange in this shawl.
Let's see.
Okay.
I mean, Mum, it really is up to you, but you could knit the whole rest of the shawl with almost no orange. So, but
Because this is
if you
going
don't
to be
like it, then
quite a lot of, it's going to be quite a lot. This piece I'm knitting the wedge is quite a big section.
it is a big section. So change now before you have to do too much ripping.
Yeah. Put that green in, shall I?
No, not on your line.
Go for it, Margaret.
No. Don't listen to her.
She's not the boss, Lawrence, so I could put the green in.
Yeah, I'm busy trying to figure out how I can get my parents to meet me on a Saturday without them realizing that it's something untoward, because my sister's arriving on the 6th as a surprise. They don't know. So I can't say we'll meet for breakfast because I know I work on a Saturday. So now I've got to think of something. So we thought, okay, well, maybe my car gets stuck in the garage and that the garage door doesn't want to open or something. And then they need to come and fetch Emily to take her somewhere. I'm like racking my brain.
Why don't you set up a fake thing for Emily and tell them that you've got people coming to the shop so you can't take her, and then you can schedule with them in advance.
Well, that's what I was thinking, is saying that, you see, they know I would take her, or that Sean would take her, but if Sean's working, then, so yeah, we can, I thought maybe I'll ask them on the Friday, but I've got to get my dad to take, to bring my mom as well, so that my sisters, they see my sister when she's here.
Yeah.
But I've got a customer, so I'm just going to mute myself quick.
Oh,
Oh, we like customers.
We do.
yes,
Yeah.
we definitely do.
How are your customers, Ananda?
Can I
Well,
just quickly ask, is everyone done with the shawlography? Because then I'm going to turn our video off.
please.
Any more shawlography questions? No? All good. Okay. We will be talking shawlography again next week. Bye.
Are there